Goodness me, they mean business, we mean business. It's semi-final time.
Eat, sleep, bleed, repeat.
And your commentators for New Zealand against England, Brian Noble, Jonathan Davis, and first of all, Dave Woods.
Well, we've had a whole heap of fun in the last few weeks. It's been a tournament full of smiles, but today the World Cup gets serious. England against New Zealand in the semi-finals. Lining up like this today, New Zealand missing the giant winger Manu Vatuvei because of injury. Jason Nightingale comes in. Likewise, Frank Pritchard, a late withdrawal from the pack. Elijah Taylor comes back at loose forward. Alex Glenn gets a late call on the bench. So 1 or 2 late changes, hence the slight variation in numbering for New Zealand today. And England, the brand new half-back pairing, premiered at Wembley. Gareth Widdop and Kevin Sinfield, and it's a combination that has to work right from the off. James Roby back as the starting hooker today. Well, he's ready, and so is he. Our referee today is Ben Cummings from Australia. 2 video referees, Ashley Klein and Shane Haynes, should we need them. And Grant Atkins and James Child are the men who run the bench, or run the lines rather, this afternoon. So many matchups to make the mouth water. Who's the best of the beast, Sonny Bill Williams or slamming Sam Burgess? It's the twinkle toes of Tuivasa Sheck against the master finisher of Ryan Hall. Tompkins against Locke, Roby against Luke. It's England against New Zealand. It's underway. It should be very special.
Oh, let's get it on. Get that into you, Jared. England being business as well, Dave.
Play the ball.
There's going to be plenty of big hits, plenty more where there have come from. As Isaac Luke tries to make inches downfield.
The one thing they have to do is keep their discipline now. It's got to be aggressive, it's got to be tough, but you don't want to be giving this New Zealand side field position. What the hit
as well.
4 of them ganging up on Sonny Bill Williams.
That's worth the entrance fee alone, those 2.
Here comes Jesse Bromwich. Steadying drive by him to within 5 yards of that halfway line. Isaac Luke, they're going to have to marshal him really well today, aren't they, England, Isaac Luke? He has been devastating.
with the aggressive defence, then they've still made good yardage, you know, across into the English half.
Foran gets the kick away despite the pressure from O'Loughlin. A little bit of a tester in the early stages for Josh Charnley. He comes through with flying colours. Good take from the winger.
Callum Watkins did a great job there. He's allowed to do this, and there's the hit on Sonny Bill. Get that into your Sean O'Loughlin, as Sam Burgess says. Welcome to Wembley.
I think Sam Burgess is struggling. He's walking back, struggling a little bit. Just keep an eye on him.
Well, England begin to move it left here. Here's Cudjoe taking on the man opposite, Dean Farre.
I think they've got to pick their game up as well, the English backs. They've got to match their opposite numbers.
Graham with a clambering drive forward. towards that 40-metre line. These are not minutes for the faint-hearted in the early stages. Kevin Sinfield with a decent touch-finding kick. Well, not quite a touch-finder, but it's made Kevin Locke do a little bit of work here. What about that duel as well? Kevin Locke, Sam Tompkins, not exactly face-to-face, but they're both playing for one position at the New Zealand Warriors next year.
Match them up, match all the players up against each other. Match them all up. There are matchups everywhere, world-class matchups as well.
Jason Nightingale playing today because Manu Vatuvei is injured.
I think England's game plan's got to be simple. Don't spill the ball in your own half. Get a good, set of six and clear the ball.
Jesse Bromwich has spilled it, but it is a ball steal according to the Australian referee today. He's neutral, of course, Ben Cummings.
It's been interesting because Westwood said it was one-on-one there, so let's have a look at this. I think that was a one-on-one. I don't think he had hands on him, James Graham. I think that's a mistake. Should have been England ball.
Well, the mistake they're going to have to defend, and we spoke about that, didn't we? Not being in this part of the field early in the game.
No, this is what you don't want to do. Give him field position.
Bryson Goodwin with a tap, and it's going to be taken in by Simon Mannering.
Movement! I didn't see him!
He was very much a part of that 2008 World Cup win for New Zealand. Played in the centres on that occasion. Here comes Jesse Bromwich. Another drive forward by him, and 2 tackles gone. New Zealand are in very good position here. England have to defend carefully. Isaac Luke steps out of dummy half. Kieran Foran, Kevin Locke comes in. He's a grab down. Kevin Sinfield dragging him down, and Callum Watkins helping out as well there. New Zealand sniffing that line. As back it comes to Johnson. Here's Sonny Bill-Williams. Danger now because Tuivasa-Sheck is a real stepper. He always seems to beat the first man. He's not been tackled yet. Now he has. England's defence recovers its poise, but he's a danger. Here's Farah. This now is Kieran Foran. Back on the inside for Aurea Hargraves to drive it in on tackle 5. Isaac Luke, the man at dummy half again with a little kick to the goal area. Great recovery from Tompkins. Well, the referee's not sure. He wants to have a look at this again. I don't think he's looking for the try, is he?
I'm not sure. He thinks he scored. The reaction.
Well, we're going to hear.
Isaac Luke.
We're going to hear from Ashley Klein.
He thinks he scored, Isaac Luke.
Almain at video referee today.
Kicker. That's all fine. Just run it through now. Nice and tight on the grounding. Come up. Okay, nice and slow. Ball's on the ground, ball's up.
Oh, no try.
Okay, it's come off with the England player, just making sure that it hasn't touched the hand of Isaac Luke. Okay, at the moment, it's a drop out. Okay, we're going to go for a goal line dropout, Benny. It'll be no try. Okay, coming up now.
Well, no try, but what about the vision from Isaac Luke to try that play? And what about the recovery from Sam Tompkins to deny that play?
Sliding tackle, goal line dropout on the fly. Isaac Luke, every day of the week, thought he got the ball down. Well played, Sam Tompkins. Desperation stakes early on in the game.
How close was that? But they've got to, got to keep an eye on Isaac Luke. He'll go all the time. Fantastic positioning play by this man, Sam Tompkins. I saw on the previous play, Brian. They will watch out. They will target. There's Sinfield. There's question marks over his pace at international level. That's what they will try and attack.
Here comes Aurea Hargraves with a meaty drive back. If you think he's a big lad, he's put 18 kilograms on. This year, his dietitian told him to put 18 kilograms on. We all want a dietitian like that, don't we?
I need to take 18 kilograms off.
Most of it is muscle. Here's Isaac Luke at dummy half, 30 metres away from that England line. This is Kieran Foran now, who brings it across, and Sonny Bill's well marshalled, but there comes the instinctive offload by him. Elijah Taylor swamped by England defenders. Isaac Luke again, back to the middle. Sonny Bill once more, Foran across the line. Lock quick hands on. Suddenly they've got a man over here in Nightingale. I think he's out of play before he got there.
Well handled, England. Well handled, England. For Sonny Bill Williams, we've just seen a microscopy of what he offers to this game. He carried the ball offloaded and was the first receiver on the very next play. That's why he's world class. Great defence, England, though.
This is an onslaught. There's a crisp passing. Great tackle, Charlie. Callum Watkins.
Brian Noble once referred to Jason Nightingale as the Nightingale train because of his pace.
You've never let me forget that.
Never let you forget that. But, and he got just a glimmer there, but it just showed how England's defence got over quickly, in numbers,
Great defence, but the crisp and the execution of the passing, high quality. They've just got to make sure they keep possession now, you know, relieve pressure, get good field position.
So England just looking to restore a little poise. These opening 6 minutes or so have been mostly played inside their own half. Ryan Hall giving a little bit of a test with a pass from Widdop. There's Roby at dummy half. O'Loughlin. Taken in with real determined misses from Sam Burgess, who's hurt himself.
I thought he hurt himself in previous tackle. Sonny Bill has smashed him again there.
He's having a look. There's nothing wrong with me. There's nothing wrong with me. I'll just take a little breather here. Sonny Bill with those piercing brown eyes and that damaging left shoulder.
Oh, it's the one over the top from Hargreaves.
Yeah. Hargreaves on it. Just watch.
Oh,
that's bad enough.
This is the one.
This is illegal. This one. That's a penalty. Get that in there.
well, the crowd can see it on the big screen. You can see the misdemeanor.
Made himself popular, hasn't he?
An apology to his teammates because he knows he's put them in a little bit of pressure here. So there's a possession. New Zealand dominating so far, 74%, England 26, and territory 81-19. But it's England who get a rare glimpse of the New Zealand half here.
Movement! Back in now, back in hard in the middle, Jared.
Roby rolling up to dummy half. Sinfield switching it quickly. Westwood to Tompkins. Oh, he goes to Charlie. Charlie now with one to beat. Oh, he sidesteps past Locke, but back they come. Foran leading the chase in defence. England, there's a man offside there as well as England played that ball. But here comes Widdop now. Suddenly, a gale of support in their ears as the England supporters sense a little momentum. Sinfield with a kick to the corner. A job to be done back to Avasa Sheikh. And Ryan Hall puts him down. He's just in the field of play.
That's a great break early on by Tompkins and Charlie, but wrong decision to kick there. They should have kept the pressure. They haven't had a lot of ball. Simply had to keep the ball there, put the pressure on the Kiwis.
To Avasa Sheikh, that's tackle 3. And they've not gone beyond the 10. England's defence is really stepping up here.
Well, it's definitely a test for the Kiwis, Dave. And the question mark was over Sinfield's kick, but they wanted to test their defence out. They got him into a corner. Jamie Peacock at the start of the show, 5 from 5. That was a bit better than that. So they made New Zealand really work and restricted territory here. This will please England.
Wasn't it? 6 tackle. Johnson's under a little bit of pressure as he kicks it away, but he gets it away. Watched carefully. Tompkins, the bounce eventually is kind for him, but Foran's up there to lead the chase. Such a wonderful player, isn't he, Kieran Foran?
Oh, there's some wonderful players out there, Dave. This is the best running rugby on the planet. Trust me.
Well, he's limping a little for him as he runs back into the line. There'll be plenty of them limping as the game goes on.
See Sonny Bill looking for Burgess there. He was coming in. That's going to be interesting all afternoon.
Quickly away again. Graham with the ball away, and he got clobbered late there. Warrea Hargreaves is obviously the man who's been given the task of
What's he doing?
just trying to trouble this England team.
He's got to do it legally. He'll be off.
Cudjoe.
I like that word, trouble, Dave.
Yeah.
I think that's
Euphemistically put, really, isn't it? Last tackle, so here comes the kick. High from Widdop. Callum Watkins times the jump, knocks it back. Westwood gets a boot to it. Where's this going? Charlie's thrown it inside. There's danger here. Danger here. Locke forward pass, surely. They're allowed to play on. Suddenly, they've got the break on. England's defence with Ryan Hall. Where's he come from? The other side of the pitch.
well, that's James Graham.
James Graham's defensive work there was absolutely magnificent. Stood off him and showed him the outside.
Here's to Avasa Sheikh. England at 6 and 7. Hall's coming all the way back to get out to his wing. But now it's with the hands of Dean Farray. Farray with a step. Tompkins with a very good tackle, but not completed. Here comes Johnson. Johnson now, bustling one way and the other. And dragged down. Sam Tompkins gets in there. You're going nowhere, son. Isaac Luke wants to run from dummy half. He always wants to run from dummy half. But again, the England advance is good.
Very early in the tackle count.
Picked up from Elijah Taylor. Johnson across the Foran. Foran's going to get the kick in. Westwood got the tackle in. Caught on the ball by Charlie. Excellent work by England in defence.
Well done, Ben Westwood. What about the scramble early on? The whole set then was all about survival against the Kiwis. And the kick pressure right at the very end. This England team are in the mood, Dave.
Well, against any other opposition they played in this tournament, New Zealand would have expected to be 18-0 up here. This is what we talked about before the game. This is the test they've not had. They've had their moments in other games. They've had their moments.
That is a rib tickler, I tell you.
Roby, he's going to have a dart. He's not a bad dummy half himself, you know.
Quiet 5 minutes, first 5 minutes, but England now should be full of confidence. Offensively, they've cut them open, and defensively, they've coped. So that's brilliant confidence building for England.
5 gone. Boy, we're enjoying this. 10.5 minutes play. 5 tackles gone. Sinfield with a kick. Ryan Hall creeping up on this near side. Hall gets in there, it's a handback. New Zealand juggle to safety. Just.
There's some competitions going on here, aren't there? I can't keep my eyes on it.
That's what they've got to do, though. You know, just test them all the time. The ball in the air or the bouncing ball, there's a 50-50 chance.
Here's Johnson.
Great game.
Penalty. Disappointing for England because penalty gives New Zealand a bit of relief.
Just watch James Graham's work here, right? The turnover there, he's a prop forward. Look at him, go on, get the outside, which allows Ryan Hall to come across. That's great play by a prop forward. He was in big trouble there on his own. Fantastic play.
Remember that game for St Helens, when St Helens had won it by about 50 points, and the team they were playing against got a length of the field try, and James Graham chased a whole 100 yards back and kicked the corner flag out because he hadn't caught the man who scored the try.
Can't remember, Dave, sorry. Can't remember.
It's a great moment. Nobby remembers.
He had to be there. He had to be there, Nobby.
Isaac Luke, a dummy half. New Zealand inside that England half here just at the moment.
Movement! Bring it back. Idea White.
Kieran Foran, here's Kevin Locke, creating a bit of space on that left-hand side again. Good wins, dealt with, and the referee has shouted hell, so he'll take them back to where that initial call was made, and they'll just play it from here. Here's Foran.
Good scramble defence again by England. There is a worry on that left-hand side or the right-hand side defence for England. They are causing huge questions there.
6th tackle coming up. It's a high and a hanger from Kieran Foran. Charlie's knocked it down. Tompkins is offside. Penalty.
Instinctively, he had to catch that, didn't he? Very difficult not to catch that.
You don't get a chance for a committee meeting, do you? Sam Tompkins has to catch that ball, and Charlie has to clean it up as well. So, a justifiable penalty.
Wait for the tap. Go.
Here comes the tap.
James here, up.
Isaac Luke. 5 tackles to go here. Isaac Luke bends his back and puts it back to Kieran Foran, and Foran across to Johnson, and Johnson, the no-look pass and a no-look catch from Sonny Bill. You've got to keep your eyes on the ball, one of you, and Sonny Bill knocks it on, and England get the ball back.
Good play there by Cudjoe. Just watch him. He makes the decision. Can't see from that, but Cudjoe shot out of the line, which stopped the ball behind the player, which really, I think, Sonny Bill didn't expect.
Well, Johnson was looking behind him. We see that more and more these days, don't we? Looking one way and passing the other, but not only did he fool the defence, but even Sonny Bill was nonplussed. So England 0, New Zealand 0. New Zealand dominating. Here comes Whittam. But England have shown some really good touches in defence.
Whittam's been solid so far, hasn't he?
Looked dangerous as well.
He has.
Complimented and chimed in when he's needed to.
Tompkins, Sinfield. Here's Westwood. He'll have a go all day long. Eddie Westwood.
He's absolutely piling in, isn't he?
Six tackle. Roby down that blind side. Sam Tompkins puts it high and spinning. Nightingale's underneath it. So to his lock. Neither of them get there. It's England hands. It's pushed backwards. It's knocked on by New Zealand. Oh, what's James Graham doing? What's James Graham doing? It would have been another six for England.
Not gone.
I don't think it was, Dave. It looked that way. I thought it was play on, but I saw the New Zealanders touched it there because they thought they were offside.
He's going back for a knock-on against New Zealand here, surely.
It's going back with your guys.
Knock-on. Well,
Right.
not disastrous from England's point of view. They should get the ball back from head and feet, all things being equal.
That's not a knock-on.
You not reckon?
That's Roby's foot, that is. Just watch it again. Play it again. Just watch it. They go down. They go down. Just watch. Ball goes back, right? Just watch Roby's foot. He kicks that. It's not the best angle.
He definitely kicks it, Dave. But
Definitely kicks it. That's
I
play
think
on.
the two New Zealand players thought they were offside as well.
Yeah,
They didn't
they
go
did.
to pick it up.
Just watch now. Just watch James Roby's foot. Ball comes back. You think they're offside. Look. Foot comes in. Play on.
So John Wilkin, watching down on the sidelines, what have you made of this start?
Yeah, I think it's been a really intense start to the game. I think the game's going to be defined by moments of extra effort. We've seen some fantastic pieces of defensive play, the part of the game that really doesn't get celebrated, but that chase back from James Graham was something really special. England look like they can break it.
Watkins out to Charlie. Charlie steps back, looks for support, has it in Sinfield, and as well to hold on to the ball. Just when it looked like Charlie was being dragged out of play.
What John Wilkin just said, defensively, it's been awesome so far.
Spun back to O'Loughlin. Here's Willem. Step, has a go. New Zealand defence hanging on. 0-0. 15 minutes play. Roby. Now Graham. Graham with a short pass. Burgess. What an offload. And O'Loughlin scores. Oh, the pin-up boys of the front row. Graham and Burgess. All day the winners. Making that for O'Loughlin. And England get the first try.
That's where their strength is. Players like Burgess doing something special. A little pass. They run in pairs. It's the hit and offload. Great support play. Just watch. James Graham, great ball. Hit, support, three forwards. Great try, England.
It's a nice threesome to come at the line, isn't it? James Graham with the skill to unleash Sam Burgess. Sam Burgess with the physical prowess to burst the tackle and offload to Sean O'Loughlin to finish the play. You wouldn't want three better players coming on that play, Dave, honestly.
Wow. We love the 90-yarders. We love it when there are 8, 9, 10 passes in a move, but I tell you what, we love them as well, don't we? That was a great try.
Yeah, you've just been out SPW there by Sam Burgess. That's what you're thinking.
England lead 4-0.
This is a good game. This is scramble defence, desperation. This is a good game.
We've talked about, since Wembley Stadium reopened the new Wembley, have we seen a really good Challenge Cup tie here? Maybe not. But the stadium's getting christened today in rugby league terms. Not been great for England football in the last week or so, but England Rugby League, so far so good.
These are important as well. These 2 pointers, crucial.
Here comes Sinfield with a kick, and he really lets you down on the big occasion, Kevin Sinfield. That is one thing you can be sure of. 6 points to 0. England lead. They have weathered a hell of a storm. A hell of a storm or two at the other end. And they've created their own on the New Zealand line.
A big man on a small man, wasn't it? That's the crucial one there. They run right at Sean Johnson. Burgess at Sean Johnson. He bumps, he offloads. Great support play by this man, Loughlin.
The skill of James Graham to start it all off. You've got a bloke there that's done an 80-metre cover tackle, and now he's got the dexterity at the line to play so. Oh, great.
I think the interchange will be vital today. The pace of this game is incredible. The interchanges will be very, very important.
Matalino's on the pitch for New Zealand. One of those interchanges. And England having to start from deep again.
Good set now, solid set, good kick, start again.
Kudjoe plays it, Robic puts it back, and here they come again. The rattling big boys having a go down the middle.
Who tackles him? Sonny Bill again.
O'Loughlin just shrugs off one defender, that's good from Sean O'Loughlin. Roby picks up and carries it on now. Roby back to Burgess, suddenly appeared in the line. Sinfield thought the ball had been taken off him. It had. Here comes Sinfield, high and spins. Lock underneath it, not too much pressure there, but Tompkins is up there. Just a
little bit too far, that kick. A little bit too far.
Move now! Marcus straight! Hold it, hold!
So New Zealand looking to work their way out of trouble. In the meantime, Damien Johnson, news from the touchline.
I've got Liam Farrell with me here. Liam, this is more like it from England, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It's been a physical start to the game, and we've been building a bit of pressure, and, you know, we're just getting a bit on top now.
The defence has been terrific as well from England, as well as the attacking prowess.
It has. It's been outstanding, and, you know, a couple of the big boys, Sam Burgess, you know, James Graham have been throwing themselves in there, but the Kiwis are giving it back as well.
Thanks, Liam.
Wall of white has been England's tournament testimony, hasn't it? It has been a wall of white so far. Sixth tackle coming up. Up goes Sean Johnson with a kick.
A bit too far.
Ryan Hall settles, takes on to Ivasashek, runs straight at him, but a couple of his mates are there too.
I tell you what England will be happy about is their offensive. Defence have been really solid and they've scrambled exceptionally well.
Oh, Kudjoe's lost it.
Big mistake. But offensively, they've only had a couple of opportunities and they've cut the Kiwi defence open. So they'll be very, very happy with that.
These are the mistakes they can't afford.
This physical stuff, Dave, today is not going to go away. And Chippy makes a really pertinent point there about how good the England defence has been. The Kiwi defence has had to be exceptional. It took an exceptional play to break them down. And what will happen is that they'll continue their physical presence, will New Zealand. England have to stay with them, but I think they're looking good, they're looking solid, they're looking fit. They can do without doing this in their own, putting themselves under a little bit of a stressful situation.
Yeah, this is what they can't afford to do, is give New Zealand easy ball in the danger zone.
England's head and feed, because the last hand to touch it was Dean Farray. He pulled it forward, so England get that relief at least.
It's interesting their line up there.
Okay, Kevin, nice bam.
Is it? Yeah. Simon Mandering's in the centre.
Just
for that.
Yeah.
Smash.
And he's not unusual. It's not unusual for him to be in that position. He's played a lot of centre throughout his NRL career.
It's Burgess with a carry forward. It's Roby who brings it left to O'Loughlin, and Ferris rolling it backwards, just not quite connecting. But England keep the ball nonetheless, and all that Kudjoe can do is head down and drive it forward again.
They had Mataluno in the back line as well, which is a bit strange, you know. You've got to look up, I think, England say, right, if he's in the scrum, you've got to have a go at him at standoff.
It's a bit of a juggle by Westwood, but he carries it in. Sinfield just suggesting a long raking pass to the right, and then he tried to outwit that New Zealand defence with a step. The play the ball is not the cleanest, but it's picked up by Roby, and Tompkins is the man to lay leather on this and puts it high in the air. It's going to bounce off the head of Johnson, and James Graham, I think, went for a drop goal. Did he go for a drop goal? Penalty, England.
He went for a habit. That was a habit play. He said, "What's up?" That's a great effort.
He's done everything in this
game.
Not
10 metres, that's why the penalty has gone New Zealand's way.
Hits him on the head.
On the head, and then here we go, drop goal. Have this. There's off the head.
Is he having a goal and drop? He is.
Yeah.
That's extraordinary.
I'm not sure.
Extraordinary.
Could have been a difference at one point.
The position he plays demands an element of recklessness, and I don't mean he's absolutely a reckless person, but that's a tough place to play. He's showing all the skills and all the attributes of a halfback sometimes.
Sonny Bill Williams leads the New Zealand charge again. 10 metres inside the England half. Isaac Luke picks up and looks to his left and sees the bearded finger of Sam Cassiano, who's on the pitch, and here he is again. There's Sam Cassiano with an offload. That's goalkeeper saved by Widdop. Well read, Gareth Widdop.
Very, very lazy play by Cassiano. The first pass was poor, and then there's an interception.
Great touch from Gareth Widdop, and here comes Graham again now. James Graham. Roby, O'Loughlin, Widdop. Sinfield's inside pass and Tompkins runs into his own man. Westwood made the telling challenge on that occasion.
Does he get a tackle for that in his stats?
Roby again, off he goes. Sinfield to the left. Ferris now taking on Sonny Bill and beating Sonny Bill, and Isaac Luke, the man who has to tackle him in the end. 5 gone, here comes the 6. Roby to the in-goal area, needs dealing with here by Locke. That's a terrific kick from Roby. It has forced New Zealand to drop out underneath their own sticks.
Well, we said the kicking game was vitally important, that James Roby would have to play his part in that, and that's a pinpoint kick, and Kevin Locke has to deal with it. 6 more plays, England.
So well done, James Roby. Robbie Hunter-Paul, what are you making of all this from the New Zealand point of view?
Well, we spoke about it before the game, that New Zealand hadn't been tested at a higher level, and I think this is what they're finding themselves out right now. Come out with the opening 5 minutes of the game, they've put a lot of pressure on England, but England were able to weather that, and now they've turned it fully around back on New Zealand. Now New Zealand are going to have to weather this and then understand they're in 80 minutes of hard toil.
Here comes the drop. That's the catch from Widdop. And the run back by James Graham, who steps on the inside of a swinging Cassiano arm.
They've got to run a Cassiano. He looks totally out of
what a
place.
step that was by Burgess! Almost connecting with O'Loughlin. That would have been special. That would have been very special. It's a penalty for England, though.
Holding back in a tackle. I'd like to see this again, because who did they hold back then?
Look at that.
What about a sidestep from Sam Burgess?
I don't think, well,
I don't think Foran's got a choice there, to be fair to Foran.
No,
He has to make that tackle if he catches the ball.
Yes, he's got to make the tackle. That's not a penalty. What a player this man is, Burgess, though.
Are we watching the 2 best prop forwards in the game in the world at the moment today, in Burgess and Graham?
I think James Graham is definitely up there. I think there's a few candidates when you look at this World Cup. Sam Burgess playing in the front row when he's there. Yes, you'd have to say yes.
John Wilkin?
Yeah, I think England have showed some great balance in this opening period. When they've got the ball, they've been very direct through Graham and through Burgess, but also have showed great movement with the ball through O'Loughlin and Sinfield, and they've had a real good combination of testing New Zealand's middle defenders, but also testing their edges. It's been a real composed start. And
John, help me out here. Jiffy's having a laugh, but you remember that 90-yard chase back by James Graham and kicking the corner flag out when he didn't make the tackle, do you?
I do indeed. James Graham is 100% effort, everything he does, even his drop goal attempts. So he's been fantastic in this opening period, but as have all of the England forwards.
What about the footwork here from Burgess? Widdop, he's tackled off the ball. Just a question for John, Dave, from up here. Why wasn't he in the picture?
I think Burgess scored a try against Australia, very similar to that. Takes a ball on a charge, left foot step.
And the lessons from that particular game was that England made a very good start in that game and were looking very healthy midway through the second half, and then the wheels fell off. So
I tell you what, they've
got to keep this up, though, haven't they?
I tell you what you've got to do, though. When Burgess is on the charge, you have to be with him. As a full-back or a half-back, if Burgess is on the charge, you stick on his coattails for the offload.
England 8, New Zealand 0. That penalty, boom, from Kevin Sinfield. And that fella's just going to carry on running all day long.
The wheels on this bus ain't going to come off, Dave.
Penalty
England.
England. That's what it does to you, isn't it? Keep hitting hard like that. They want to try and slow it down a little.
Hang on, I think Georgie Burgess is coming on as well.
I was going to say, there's still,
hang on.
Still George Burgess to come off the bench.
You think I'm a great player? Wait till you see our kid.
It's an argument to say that he's been the best of the Burgesses in this World Cup so far, isn't there, George?
He has been phenomenal. I watched him in the NRL as well. He has made such an impression.
Rookie of the year in the NRL, George. And the other twin, Tom, isn't in the 17 today. And the other fella, Luke, isn't in the England squad, so it's quite a family. Terrific family. And we love them as well. Here comes James Graham. Back it goes to Widdop. Short, flat. Westwood. Tackle, but England with tackles in the back. 4 to come, and look at the position. James Graham again.
I think, as John Wilkins said, I think the variety has been very good. You know, 2 wide plays, then take it up the middle. Good field position.
Roby. Here's Ferris. Australia and Fiji, of course, are in the next semi-final. They'll be watching on. O'Loughlin, Cudjoe, it was tight down that side. And they're going to have to work hard to keep him in play. They're not going to be able to do that. New Zealand there in numbers.
I reckon England are having a pop at Sean Johnson. They've had a look at him in the defensive line.
Yeah.
Sonny Bill's having to work and work and work to protect him. He'll run out of juice for Sonny Bill. Unbelievable athlete that he is. That'll take his offensive prowess out of his game.
Definitely targeting, haven't he?
Well, of the two halves, he's the one to run at, isn't he? You're not going to run at the other fella, Kieran Foran, as we mentioned before, is tough as old boots. With ball in the hand, he's as brilliant as patent leather, isn't he? But in defence, he really is a tough character.
But it's the thing, if you look at who Burgess run at, he did run at Sean Johnson to get the offload for the try. It's a no-brainer, really. Big man on a small man.
28 minutes played. England lead by 8 points to 0 against New Zealand in this World Cup semi-final at Wembley Stadium. If you're just switching on, you've turned on to something which is pretty special at the moment. England's performance is excellent against the World Cup holders. I don't think we've mentioned that so far today, have we, in commentary? New Zealand are the World Cup holders, defending their crown. And New Zealand have been outstanding in this tournament. 34 tries in 4 games. They're averaging 46 points a match. But today, at the moment, they have met their match.
Well, I think the first 5 minutes, all New Zealand. And there was 20 minutes, England have been brilliant.
Oh, Johnson's kick hits an England player. Now, how is this ruled? Hitting man or man playing ball? It's hitting man. England's head and feed. Right decision, you'd have to say.
Yeah. It's a poor kick, that is. Oh, he nearly missed it.
No, I'm not saying they're rattled, but their kicking game hasn't been put under pressure in this tournament.
No, at all.
Kieran Foran's kicked for free every time he's wanted to do, as has Sean Johnson. Now they're under a little bit of pressure, and those cracks and creaks are starting to show.
Foran doesn't kick, does he, for Manly? He doesn't do the kicking, a lot of it. Cherry Evans, the halfback, who does a lot of the kicking.
So Willett with a feed. Graham. Sinfield. Oh, Tompkins just took his eye off it, and it's picked up by Alex Glenn, who's...
There's no need to do that.
Relatively fresh pair of legs on the field, Glenn, from the interchange bench. Isaac Luke. Still Isaac Luke, but he's going nowhere. He's going nowhere.
Wasting a lot of energy going nowhere as well, which is good for England.
Johnson.
Make him work hard.
Here's Cassiano, who's got a bit of...
Nickname's Dogzilla.
Cassiano?
Yeah, Dogzilla. There's the Canterbury Bulldogs. There was nickname of the Dogs, and only that size.
Great skip.
Foran with a step. A couple of England defenders left in his wake, and New Zealand now suddenly sensing an opportunity here. Back it comes. Johnson, Sonny Bill, gathering defenders around him. No way of moving forward, no way of offloading. Good job, England defence.
They wrap him up, haven't they?
Isaac Luke. Foran with a kick on the last. Charlie gets up there. Does he? No, he doesn't. It's a New Zealand hand that knocks it back. It's kept alive here, desperately by the Kiwis. They might make something happen. Isaac Luke again. Throws it over the top. Oh, he's thrown it out of play, has he? Oh, terrific!
What a ball! What a ball!
Shek will score one of the great tries. Dean Farray was expecting his winger to be on the outside.
He was.
Suddenly realised he wasn't and produced the miracle pass to the winger on the inside, who might just have scored the try. Let's have a listen to Ashley Klein, our video referee.
Okay, so a run it through from the very first kick, confirming the onside offside. Okay, it's coming up now. That's fine, they're onside. Just run it through, confirm the challenge goes backwards. Okay, it's a challenge, which is fine, goes backwards. Still playing on, just keep running. No hands there, play on to the New Zealand hand, that's fine. Pass out. Now we need something tight on the touchline here at up point. Okay, can't see the feet, but the feet now. He has possession. The foot is in the air, the right foot is in the air. He still has possession. Both feet are now in the air. He has released the ball. Let's play on. Okay, now we need to look at the grounding now. a clean catch. Okay, just run this through, that'll be fine on this angle. Okay, pause there. Okay, we're going to the ball, it'll be a try. Okay, coming up now.
Well, once Tuivasa-Sheck got the ball in his hands, it was always likely to be a try. The way he got the ball in his hands was nothing short of a rugby league miracle.
You can't defend that. You cannot defend that. You know, Isaac Luke's vision, for one thing, he throws thick of the wingers there, and then the inside ball is just a miracle ball.
Well, I'm speechless, and I'm paid to say something. That was absolutely fantastic. That's rugby league at its best, a privilege. Oh, while be it not the score that probably I wanted deep down, you have to applaud the skill, you have to applaud the Fares believed that the ball wasn't going out. Isaac Luke, speculator, throws it over the top. Sheck shouldn't have been there, was there and finished the play. Well played, New Zealand. And that shows at this level, keeping the ball alive and looking for an opportunity and scratching a play. Wow.
That's his 7th try of the tournament, Roger Tuivasa-Sheck. It's only his 5th cap today, 7 tries in 5 New Zealand appearances. He's a hell of a winger, he's a terrific winger, Roger Tuivasa-Sheck, but it helps when you've got a centre who can do stuff like that as well. Johnson looking to narrow the gap to 2. With the whirling boos of the Wembley crowd in his ears, ignored. Absolutely dead centre from Sean Johnson. It is 8 for England, 6 for New Zealand.
This is a great pass, first of all. Thinking the wingers there, but just watch this. That's fantastic play. Fantastic play. What a ball, Dean Ware. Look at that. He knew what he had to do. Fantastic.
So the restart. 8 minutes of this first half remaining. Oh, the big hits still keep coming, raining in and push back. Good response from England's defence. The helmeted Chris Hill on the field there.
Oh.
And he's getting involved.
I think he won the contact right there. I think he did. Cassiano. Here he
Sonny
comes.
Bill. Burgess still out there. Is it Graham that's gone off? Graham that's gone off, isn't it? To get Chris Hill on.
Dear. All these players just take a bow, every one of you so far. What a super game of it.
This is Isaac Luke down this blind side, having a little nibble. Tuivasa-Sheck, 6th tackle coming up. Oh, it's hit the England player again.
That's play
Still
on.
the 6th tackle though, isn't it? Surely. Tuivasa-Sheck, look at the footwork here. He's going to be wrapped up and put down, and he didn't realise that he'd run out of tackles. England get the ball back. So down on the sidelines, Tommy Lulai not playing in this competition because of injury, but he's with Damien Johnson.
He is, Tommy, a moment of rare genius for that last New Zealand try, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was, mate. There's a bit of amazing skill there from Dean Fuddy, and I think we needed it.
What have you made of the game so far? It's bruising, isn't it? Fast, furious.
Yeah, it is, man. I think England have been really well. At the moment, you know, we need to settle into our game plan a bit better and give away. We're giving away too many penalties, I think.
That's all, Tom.
Cheers, mate.
Fantastic offload from Burgess in the middle of that tackle, and here comes Callum Watkins. Watkins out to Charlie. Charlie puts his step on.
Oh!
New Zealand get across there.
Flip it on the edge.
It all started with George Burgess again, Sam Burgess again, rather. Penalty England.
It was Frank Paul Nuasala that gave him a clean shave here. Beach lock. There's Frank Paul, smacking round the back of the head. That generally stops him.
They call him the wrecking ball, don't they? Frank Paul, the wrecking ball. And there's one of the reasons why. Burrow on from the bench, operating from dummy half. Here comes a big drive from George Burgess, who's nibbling close to that New Zealand line. England pushing hard again. 5.5 minutes of the first half remaining. Sinfield with a step. Oh, he goes. He's all by himself.
What a tackle.
What a tackle. Kevin Locke.
O'Loughlin. Double pump inside. Widdup. Tompkins flying onto it. Tackle.
They're hanging on here, the Kiwis.
Burrow.
They're hanging on.
Widdup has a look, puts the little grubber kick in. That's an intelligent kick.
Well played.
That's an intelligent kick. If they can tackle him there, they can. They can. It's another dropout underneath the sticks. Really good play from the England half, Gareth Widdup.
This has got everything. This
Yeah, a
game.
bit of afters here, a little bit of hand in the face. Great defence here again, though. Just watch.
What's this? There you go.
That's the penalty.
Have some of that. Do you know what? We've not mentioned him. He's come onto the field, Rob Burrow, with the way that New Zealand here, we see the ball and does his best to get out, but England, white wall. There's your white wall. JP's white wall down there and making the play. Well done, England.
Offensively, I think England have been very, very good today.
Defensively, they've been very good.
Yeah, but
here's another of the Burgess clan, George this time.
To win this World Cup, they have to, they have to score tries. I think they've been brilliant.
Here's Burrow, scampering and scarpering and putting a little bit of a scare in that New Zealand defence. Widdop, O'Loughlin, Sinfield, Hill across the line to Burgess. Even he's kicking now. Burgess, it's ricocheting around. Another 6 for England. Another 6 tackles. New Zealand made a play. England get to camp a little longer on this New Zealand line.
Composure, composure.
Hill stopped. Burrow waits. Off he comes. Sinfield. Widdop. Tompkins. Cudjoe. New Zealand's scramble is good enough. Gets across in numbers. Widdop again. Back to the middle. This is Sinfield once more. Sinfield dragged down. New Zealand defenders clambering around him.
Any tackles?
Still 3 to go. Here comes Burrow. Right up to that line. Throws it left to Cudjoe. Cudjoe now to Hall. Watch Hall here. Oh, what a good pass. Good offload. Oh, and the ref says the initial pass was forward.
Intensity here.
Let's go down and find out some injury news, I think. Damien Johnson.
Yeah, just a word about Ben Westwood. The Warrington forward's disappeared down the tunnel. He needs a stitch just by his eye. He's also got a badly swollen cheekbone, so he's under the doctor, the first victim of what is a bruising encounter.
Well, that's not going to keep him out for long, is it? Stitch in his eye and badly bruised cheekbone. He'll be back before long.
The doctor's under pressure there. Get him stitched quick. Is what the bench will be saying. This is a great game. New Zealand, I'll tell you something, they've shown some defensive prowess themselves there, haven't they? Yeah. England are on fire. I think they played so well.
Well, this is the best I've seen them play for a long, long time.
Best.
I think we might even have to go back to November the 4th, 2006. It's Brian Noble will remember well, coach of Great Britain on that occasion when they beat Australia in Sydney. In England or Great Britain side since. This is terrific. Really is terrific from England today. Good offload. New Zealand though have got a punch and a counter punch or two.
I mean, collectively England have been fantastic. That's the one difference. Worries me a little bit is the individuality of some of the Kiwi players. They can just do something magic.
Well, they haven't done anything more magic than what Burgess has thrown up today.
No.
Carted forward by Frank Paul.
But when you look at people,
oh, good offload. Isaac Wood standing there as well. There's a bit of a gap there. He tries the offload. Locke in support. He was being poured at, wasn't he, Kevin Locke? And a little cheeky slap in the face for Leroy Cudjoe. Penalty. New Zealand.
This is respect. Look, go for goal.
Do you think any of the England players are saying to Kevin Locke when he's getting the ball, Sam Tompkins got your place next year, something like that, winding him up?
Oh, I hope so. I hope so.
They are
going can't beat a bit of sledging. And this is respect. Respect, isn't it?
Great offload, by the way.
Yeah.
I think George Burgess said, oh, it was Chris Hill, was it, that had a nibble at him?
George Burgess, wasn't it?
George, wasn't it, yeah. It's hard to hide yourself when you've done something like that, isn't it, when you're that big? It wasn't me. Whoa. Who else was 23 stone or whatever he is?
Brother Sam?
Yeah. It was the good-looking one. Rob Burrow's got an excuse if he tries to. You can hide behind something, it wasn't me.
John Wilkin, what are you observing from the sidelines?
I think a really positive point for England has been the combination of Sinfield and Widdop. We questioned whether they'd be able to form good combination in such a short space of time, but I think Gaz Widdop's freed up Kevin to do more of a natural role that he'd do at Leeds, and also Gaz Widdop's kicking game has been really crucial in building some pressure on the New Zealand line.
Thanks, John. A minute and a half remaining. Johnson looking to tie the game up. Clock still ticks down, so this is potentially the last real action of this first half. Johnson, unless he misses it, of course, but he hasn't. He has put it between the uprights. Minute and a half remaining. We're all square again. 8 points apiece. New Zealand and England. And at least a couple of Kiwis in the crowd are quite happy with that.
Do we get a shower and rub down at half-time? This is exhilarating.
I'm sure it's in your contract, yes, probably.
Off day if you can have a rub down if you want.
You get a hot bath.
That's your lot, that's your lot.
We're lucky to get a cup of tea. But what a first half it's been. Absolutely terrific. Gripping rugby league at its very best. It really has. And 30 seconds just under left to play. New Zealand will finish the half in all probability with a ball in their hands. As Jesse Bromwich runs it out, but you never know. A little spill, a little misconcentration here, and England might still get the ball back, maybe. That's what they'll be hoping as they clatter in again with those big hits. Hoping to jar the confidence of this New Zealand side. Hooter sounds. Tackle's complete. Ben Cummings blows his whistle. What a fabulous first 40 minutes. They often say the semi-finals are the boring games. Too much tension, too much at stake. Anything but today.
Absolutely fantastic first half of rugby league. Offensively, defensively, the decision-making. What a game. It's been an amazing first half of rugby league.
Best rugby on the planet, and I'm going for a lie down. Tired out.
Well,
Exhilarating.
There's still 40 minutes to go, so don't lie down for too long. But we're going to hear from some of those who took part in that first half, Sinfield and Johnson. Here's Damien Johnson.
Sean, really intense first half. Just talk us through how that felt.
Yeah, I felt a bit sort of panicked, I think. You know, I think both sides just a bit excited. And once it sort of settled down and get in our rhythm.
And what's the build on for the second half?
Well, I think we just need to get back to completing sets. You know, get in that arm wrestle, get in that grind, and make them come out of there. And
good luck.
Cheers, mate.
Kev, really intense start, a great platform to build on.
Yeah, first 40, we can take some heart from that. I think the start of the game in particular, first 20 were good for us, but a couple of errors crept in. We need to nip that in the bud now and be back this second half.
And your combination with Gaz is working out really well. You'll be looking to build on that.
Yeah, Gaz is a great player. It's great to have him in his side. He's doing some good things for us.
Good luck, Kev.
John Wilkin talking to Kevin Sinfield, and when you look at the stats, never mind the score, everything else shows just how close this match has been. A couple of percentage in it in the possession, completely level as far as the territory is concerned, but just reading a load of numbers doesn't really tell you how intense that first 40 minutes of rugby league has been. I'm delighted to say that joining Jamie and Robbie and myself for our half-time chat, we have Billy Slater, Australian fullback. Have you enjoyed that?
Sure have, Mark. It's been an intense half of footy. There's been some brilliant play in both attack and defence.
When listen, you will have played in games like that, but when you're sat here watching it, are you taken aback by just how intense that has been?
Yeah, it's certainly a semi-final for a World Cup, isn't it? You know, the boys up front aren't leaving anything out on the field, and I think that both sides are chancing their arm. New Zealand probably more with the offloads, and I think England are throwing the ball out the back and chancing their arm. We saw off that scrum, they dropped that ball, but you know, I think they have to do that to beat this New Zealand side. We'll
talk more about you and the Aussies and your state of health as well during half-time. Let's look at who probably without a shadow of a doubt has been England's main man in that first half, which is Sam Burgess, Jamie.
Yeah, he's been exceptional in this half. He's certainly delivered, and we can see straight away from the kick-off here. You can see how quick he's getting down there, wanting to get amongst it, and bang, he's the first one in there. His first collision with Sonny Bill. He's been absolutely outstanding this half. He's a leader within that team, an absolute leader. He's set a real lead for the rest of the forwards to go follow.
I haven't seen a game Sam Burgess has played that he hasn't played like that.
Yeah.
He just loves the confrontation, the physicality up front.
He's 100% in everything he does, isn't he? You know, he's absolute courage in all of it, and there's quality mixed in with there as well. He's not just a big brute of a man. He's athletic, and he's got a lot of skill in there as well.
And that's exactly, you know, we highlighted that at the start, didn't we? We didn't highlight it with Sam. We highlighted it with Sean O'Loughlin, a mix of physicality and creativity, and he was the man who actually got on the end of the move that's got England's try.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, we can see James Graham as this unfolds. Comes around the short side and realises he wants to put his pet play on. This is his pet play with another front row running with him and somebody out the back. And it's these little subtleties which are very good. He hits Sam Burgess here, and he puts him on a half-back, a smaller man, and Loughlin's following through. It's a great pass and a great start for England.
Well, it's a traditional play for a half to be taking the ball to the line with a back rower and a full-back out the back, but you've got 3 forwards there, and when you can have that sort of structure with 3 forwards in your side and the ability to put on a play like that and score a try, it's a great asset, isn't it?
Yeah, I tell you, he's lucky to still have his teeth in, isn't he, Sean O'Loughlin? the way his head hit the ground when he did that. But that Graham, Burgess, O'Loughlin, I mean, you don't want those front 3 running at you, do you?
I think that's what's really important, the fact that not only can they roll their sleeves up and do the very physical stuff where they're doing big hits, where they're trucking into the teeth of a real strong defensive team, but they can also have the subtlety, the touch on the pass, players working together as a unit. Then, you know, as a defensive line, you have to deal with the halves, what they're doing out the back, what's the fullback doing out the back, and actually the forwards are playing like halves as well. All those different elements, all those different levels lead to this being the high-class game that it is.
Now, Billy, Robbie's a vital member of our team. He spots things that nobody else sees. And before the game, he genuinely highlighted the advantage that New Zealand have when using the bump ball, when using the bounce ball, and it came true.
Well, he's talking about the unstructured type of play, and this typifies what New Zealand can do. Space out there. He knew Isaac Luke knew no one was out there. Knew Dean Whare would jump outside the line and just chuck the ball back inside for Roger Tuivasa-Sheck. But you can see there that's where the space is created, because the England outside backs had to chase in because of the uncompromised play. But Roger Tuivasa-Sheck has that ability to get to the try line. Exceptional skill there by Dean Whare.
It's remarkable.
Exceptional, yeah. As we say, he has that sense to know, okay, I've got to get the ball back in. I know that there'll be some numbers there. And how do you defend against it? It's not a structured play, but it's what New Zealand have up their sleeve. They have that X factor.
Do you think, when you concede a try like that, where in many ways you can't do anything about it, can you? That sheer individual brilliance, it sometimes takes you a while to get back into it.
Yeah, you need to move past it quickly, because I think England deserved the 8-0 lead at the time, and to go 8-6 and 8-8. Robbie, we're in England here, mate.
Robbie's thinking it should have been 12.
Yeah. So I think England deserved it, and to concede a try like that is unlucky at times, but hopefully England will get their luck as they go forward there. But they've regrouped well, and they've looked class, England, this half. They've delivered everything we wanted so far.
And their defence has been fantastic as well.
Yeah, they've been good all over the park. I think typified by James Graham. We're not going to show that at the moment. James Graham's effort. We've got Sam Tompkins here right at the start of the game when New Zealand were pressing on the line. This is what he's going to have to do when he gets to the NRL, isn't it, Billy? He's going to have to defend like this.
Yeah, and he does that all the time.
Yeah.
He saved another try where Tuivasa-Sheck broke the line and he tackled him about 3 or 4 metres out. But, you know, this is the example that you were talking about before, Jamie.
Yeah, like James Graham is a phenomenal competitor, and you can see him coming back here, and he's smart with it. He's directing people. He's not chasing back blindly. And they managed to stop a try. And England are going to need this if they're going to beat New Zealand today. That's exceptional play from James Graham.
What he does so well there, what a lot of people that don't have the experience would have gone after the guy with the ball in hand. But he knows he's on his own. He knows that he has to buy time. And that's why, rather than trying to go for the ball and then it's all open play, he shadows him all the way back and allows Ryan Hall and the rest of the cavalry to come and get back and support him.
The scramble defence has been first class, you know, from both sides. You know, Sam Tompkins, Kevin Locker's made a number of try-saving tackles, and you know, you expect that in a semi-final for a World Cup. But you know, I think both fullbacks have been great in defence, and both sides have scrambled well. Both sides have had their opportunities to score tries, but the scrambling of in the defence has certainly held them out.
We talk about Tompkins and the scrambling defence. We've picked a few things here of him on the attack, but you're more concerned, Robbie, here about what's happening down the Kiwis' left.
This has happened about 3 or 4 times throughout this half, where obviously they're playing to Sam out the back there. They've got numbers moving in motion, and this is creating the what is a worry for me on the New Zealand left-hand defence, but actually is a really strong attribute for England's attack. And they're doing it really well. They've worked on it. They've spotted a weakness in New Zealand's defence, and they keep going back to it. And they'll probably continue to do it for the final 40.
I'd like to see Callum and Josh do a little bit better there. They're getting the space, they're getting the opportunity. They need to put them away. They need to score, I think, this half. Do it with that move.
The Tompkins lock thing's interesting, isn't it? Because of next season in the NRL. I mean, it's probably good for us in the media to look at it and think, yeah, they've both got a point to prove to each other, when probably they're only concentrating on winning a World Cup semi-final for their country.
Oh, it'll be in the back of their mind.
Do you think?
Don't worry about that. The current New Zealand Warriors fullback and the guy that's going to come and take his position, there's no doubt that that'll be in the back of both of their minds. So they'll want to impress against each other.
Is he looking quite animated for you there, Stephen Kearney, Robbie?
I think he's laying down the law there. I think he's saying, look, boys, you're in a test match. You're in a proper test match now, and you need to keep that intensity that you had in the opening 5 minutes. We need to see that for the final 40 minutes.
I suppose the good thing for you here, Billy, from an Australian point of view, is the more intense this gets, the bigger hits they are, the better it is from an Australian point of view. The more they can take, I mean, I appreciate you have a semi-final to play, but the more they can take it out of each other, the better.
Oh, for sure. And don't worry, there'll be some big hits in about an hour's time as well. The Fijians don't mind a bit of a whack, but yeah, no, it's certainly you want that physicality going into a final. So I'm sure the Australians and the Fijians won't be holding back any of it either.
Talk us through your current state and how your knee is. We're going to show people here.
Yeah, it was quite tender. I knew straight away. I did my PCL about 18 months ago in an Origin last. Barely even put any weight on it, as you can see there. But it's feeling quite good now. If we do get through this game this afternoon, I'll give myself a small chance. I haven't tested it yet. I've done a lot of icing and treatment from the physio, so the swelling's gone down a lot, and because the ligament was already injured and they didn't repair it, hopefully it'll settle down quite quickly. So if we do get through this game today, I do give myself a small chance.
Which is remarkable, probably, given the pain you were in and how you couldn't put any weight on it as you left.
Yeah. I thought I was, a couple of days ago, I thought I was no chance, but I do give myself a small chance, but I've got to put myself through the paces and make sure that I'm up to playing a final.
Talk to us about Greg Inglis, who you know will play fullback in your place. He seems like an impossible man to tackle. John Wilkie was saying on our highlight show, if you go low, he can push you out the way and push you down, and if you go high, equally he can push you to a side because his reach is immense.
He's an amazing athlete. He's got the size and the strength of a front rower. He's got the skill of a halfback and the pace of an outside back. And you know, you put all those together and you've got the ultimate footballer, haven't you? He's a great player. And
coming up against players like that, I used to use the tactic of trying to be on the opposite side of the field as they did.
Yeah, that strictly speaking isn't how you would tackle him. Let me just point you in the direction of our coverage of the World Cup final. Next Saturday afternoon, our build-up from Old Trafford begins at 1:45. 1:45. The highlights of the second game here at Wembley, Australia against Fiji, and all the reaction to this first semi-final tomorrow, 4 o'clock on BBC Two HD. Listen, thank you very much for coming in. You Australians have been a delight to deal with during this World Cup, which is slightly annoying for us because that means we like you. And we're not used to liking the Aussies. And thank you for not mentioning the cricket as well. It's much appreciated.
Thank you.
And we wish you well and hope you get fit for the final. Thank you very much.
Thank
right, all the post-match reaction with Jamie and Robbie to come after the second half. It is tight, it is tense, and who knows what's going to happen. Let's hope Brian's had a rub down. Let's join him and Jonathan and Dave.
Well, we're looking forward to this next 40 minutes with some relish. That was a fantastic performance by England in the first half, wasn't it? But they have to repeat it now. They have to do that again.
Yeah, great first half, Dave, and more of the same in the second, please, if you're an English fan. New Zealand will be different. They've been poked, the Hornets' net's been poked now, so it's about England maintaining their composure that we've seen. Same rules, get out of your own half with minimal posts and errors, kick the ball well, get the white wall going, and then show that great shape and structure we've seen from England that's troubled New Zealand on the edges.
Are the Kiwis coming out here or what? England are out, they've been out for a couple of minutes.
They have, yeah.
And while we wait, here they come, finally. What have you made, Jonathan Davis, as a former rugby league standoff, what have you made of Gareth Widdop here today in that position?
I think the combination's been very, very good. Him and Sinfield, as John Wilkins said, it looks a better balance. You know, they're not trying the miracle ball. The kicking game is complemented because, you know, he takes a bit of pressure off Sinfield, but also I think he's more direct than Rangi Chase, and I think that's been good today because he holds defenders, just created space out wide for Tompkins. which has been very, very good. I think more of the same in the second half, and I think England have got to believe they can win this game. That is the main thing. Believe, go on, grab the game with a scruff of the neck, and just go on and play in the final.
Well, key maybe, you look around at the England personnel out there and you think, you know, the likes of a Lachlan and Burrow, Watkins, Charnley, Tompkins, players who in England have achieved big things in the last few years with their clubs, who have won these big games.
There are a lot of big name players out there, as you say, have won trophies, been involved in the international setup for a long time. They know that it's all about this second half. With it being an 8-all scoreline, they've got to do the same things, play the same way. Because what we know about the New Zealand team, playing in the competition that they do most weeks, is they'll play for the whole 80 minutes, so this next 40.
But also, you know, you've got some players who play against these boys every week in the NRL. So they beat these boys week in, week out.
Here comes Burrow. A little scamper from dummy half. Still out there. Roby will be back at some stage in this second half. Burrow's doing an excellent job for the time being. Lachlan with a good, strong carry forward again. 5 gone. A good quick play the ball too, which gives Burrow just a bit more time to pick his kick, so he'll be a bit disappointed with that, because it's straight at Kevin Locke to run it back. Let's hear from Damien Johnson, who's got news from the dressing rooms at half-time. Damien.
The message from England's Steve McNamara: don't worry about the scoreboard. In defence, lock the ball up, stop the offloads. In attack, finish the sets off better. From the New Zealand dressing room, Stephen Kearney says, be patient, stick to the game plan, build pressure, and in execution, let's be tighter.
Penalty here for New Zealand.
Big one.
And Frank Paul's got up in a cranky mood. Wants a little bit of a push and a shove at Chris Hill. And his captain calms him down. We've got the penalty, let's get on with it. Will be the message. They're not going to go for goal this time, are they? Surely they're going to put it in touch. This time.
Not one for taking a backward step, is he, Frank Paul Nu'uausala?
No, he's not, is he?
What's his nickname, Dave?
Wrecking Ball. Frank Paul, the Wrecking Ball. Maybe you think he's in a bad mood. Cranky Frank Pritchard's not playing today just as well, isn't it? Cranky Frank's not made the lineup because of injury. Here comes Jesse Bromwich with that initial drive forward. The man from the Melbourne Storm. Isaac Luke lines up a dummy half, picks it up and looks inside, and here comes Frank Paul Nu'uausala. Trying to bash his way through. England hanging on. Isaac Luke's up there again. Johnson with a quick hands. There's a real early test here for this England line, just as in the first half. It is New Zealand who are exerting all the early pressure at the start of the period. Kieran Foran saw a bit of a gap, and Lachlan got across there to hamper his run. Sinfield, or rather Burgess, Sam Burgess, made the tackle complete. Look again, here's Johnson now. Johnson with a dummy over the top. There's a hand from an England player. Ryan Hall picks it up, but it's a knock-on.
Yeah.
It's a knock-on. So another set of 6 for England to defend.
Bit of early pressure here for England to deal with, and outnumbered there on the fringe, and I think it was it Cudjoe or was it Hall that got his hand to it in the end? Here we see the look, and here's the Johnson speculator over the top, and it's Cudjoe that deflects it.
But he's got to do that. If they play the blitz defence, Cudjoe has to get something on the ball. He can't allow the ball to go beyond him because there's an overlap, and that's what he did. He knew that, had to do it.
Just a question for you, Dave. Paul and Pritchard, are they collectively known as the Crankies?
Here comes
Kevin,
Johnson.
Kevin.
Contact us, by the way, rugby league at bbc.co.uk, at BBC Sport, hashtag BBCRL, hashtag Forward Forum. That's all your Twitter information. Here, Isaac Luke picks it up, and here's Johnson again. Johnson throws it to Luke. Ryan Hall had to come out of the line because of a big gap there, and over he goes. Roger Tuivasa-Sheck with his second try of the game. Or has he? Or has he? They're going to have another look at this. Tuivasa-Sheck is celebrating, but a video referee required, so let's hear again from Ashley Klein.
White to start with, yeah. Okay, checking for obstruction. It's fine. Right with that. He's caught on the outside, passes before. I'm happy with that, yeah. Grab the ball straight away, it'll be a try, Benny. They're coming up now.
Nothing wrong with that. They were looking for the possible obstructions from the dummy runners, but no problems seen by Ashley Klein. It is a second for the day for Tuivasa-Sheck, and 8 now. He levels with Ryan Hall in terms of the tournament tries, and New Zealand lead for the very first time.
We just mentioned that, Brian, didn't we, about the blitz defence. If you come in, you've got to block. Just watch. They come in. They've got to kill the ball. If they play that defensive game, you've got to stop the ball going out. You just got to hand it earlier on. Just watch. Ryan Hall comes shooting in, really. Had to stay out a little bit. High risk, isn't it, Brian?
It is high risk, and if you get it locked wrong, you look badly exposed there, as Ryan Hall did. But you have to work in conjunction with Cudjoe and stop the play the minute the ball is in hand, and I think they had the numbers there to solve it another way there.
Yeah, I think they'd have gone up and held.
Big kick for Sean Johnson, looking to give New Zealand a 6-point lead. He's watching on behind him. The kick is a decent one, but he's put it just wide. It has gone just wide. Here's the first miss of the day. So there is some consolation in the moment for Steve McNamara and his England side. It is only 8 points to 12 that they trail at the moment.
Yeah, ball goes wide, they go in. Great finish, again.
Well, he's some star, isn't he, Roger Tuivasa-Sheck from the Sydney Roosters. Winger of the year in the NRL last year, and every likelihood that he's going to be at fullback before long.
I'm going to say, he's a fullback. He must be some player.
How many fullbacks have they got playing in the NRL? Vincent Inglis and Slater and Tuivasa-Sheck and
one in every team.
Yeah, Jiffy was going to give that answer about
well
14.
Done. Well done.
I could see that one coming from a mile, wasn't it?
Darius Boyd, Sam Tompkins, Kevin Long,
Inglis.
we mentioned him. Anyway, New Zealand in possession with the lead, 12 points to 8, 6 minutes of the second half played. So now it needs a response for England, and this is the first time they're going to have to respond from behind in this game.
Well, the chance in their arm with offloads, aren't they, the Kiwis? It's a particular feature of the style of play that they have with their big blokes going forward, and England just need to get back in the game here.
They're going to go right here. Locke with a kick downfield. Charlie with a catch on the full. Now, how far further downfield can he take it? But look at Kieran Foran getting in there with a very good tackle.
Great chase.
I love that player, Kieran Foran. He really is a good player, isn't he? Ryan Hall. Out to that left-hand side.
Well, England have to go through the same process that they did at the start of the first half. They've got to get into these big New Zealand forwards and take some juice out and kick the ball well and get them on the roundabout, i.e. turning around all the time, retrieving balls. Use their own physical prowess that they did at the start of the first half and crack a few dents in the New Zealand line and then kick the ball.
Hill. Right up to Sinfield. Here comes Tompkins. Looking for the width, looking for the gaps.
Good defence, though, wasn't it? Very good defence. You've got to run inside shoulder there. They drifted wide. That's the only thing. They had plenty of numbers there. They had to run inside shoulder to hold the defensive line.
There's Tuivasa-Sheck.
Great chase by that's a good chase again by England. I think the one distinct difference for me is the pace of the play of the ball. New Zealand a few seconds quicker, just gives them that little bit of an advantage on the attack.
Penalty New Zealand. John Wilkin, what news on the touchline?
Yeah, just on that point really about the play the ball speed. We've got two guys who are going to come onto the field now in James Graham and James Roby, who I think really contributed to England winning that ruck, getting on the front foot, and they're going to come back on the field now for England. And really important players for this England team in the next 10 minutes just to grab control of the game again. They've just let it slip, and an interesting moment in the game right now.
Wait for the tap.
Tap restart, we'll see New Zealand. There you see them, truck and trailer, as Brian Noble calls them. Graham and Roby about to come back on, and New Zealand with a promising position from their point of view. Jesse Bromwich with the offload, and Farley
Amazing
with a
offload.
little skipping run and bowls it on to Isaac Luke and Sonny Bill Williams, who's got the potential to destroy morale and defences, but not that time, and Luke picks it up and on it goes from Frank Paul Nuwasala.
He is quick, he is. Frank Paul Nuwasala is very, very quick.
Isaac Luke again, looking left. This is Jesse Bromwich once more, who's going to take it forward. No nonsense. Straight forward. So that's matched with the equal determination of the England defence. Look to Johnson. Johnson, the inside pass. Sonny Bill Williams. Again, the defender's there to make sure not only is he stopped, but he can't get it away. There's a hint of a knock-on, a hint of a knock-on. England complain, hang on too long. Penalty New Zealand. And another chance for them to hammer this England line now.
They did well to hold him. I think he dropped the ball there. He's dropped that cold on the floor.
Yeah.
That's what Burgess is calling. He says it's a steal.
Hang on, hang on. He might have his mind changed. Might he? No, he won't.
He can call this.
Forward comes Jesse Bromwich. 5 tackles to have a go, New Zealand. England, that wall of white needed more than ever just at the moment. Johnson, look how many here. Oh, and it's going to be a hat-trick, is it? No, it's not. England's defence scrambles across. How good a reaction was that from England? The ball's come back and they've got it as well.
I have no idea where the ball went, to be honest.
That looked a certain try.
Great defence by England.
Question of heart.
Desperation stuff. Heart, ticker, courage, call it what you want. They made the play.
Question answer. Sinfield. So they might have felt a little aggrieved, England there, at having that penalty awarded against them in the first place, but no sense of any kind of self-pity. They got on with it.
Changes are made as well. Graham and Roby are on. That'll give them a go forward. As John said, quick play the ball.
Sinfield's kick. Long collects. Roby's up there, Graham's up there, Roby gets there. So does Callum Watkins. Look at that defence. Look at that defence. And then the reaction.
Chris up! In the middle.
10 minutes of the second half play. England trail for the first time in this game.
Good run.
James off him!
Alex Glenn with a very good run. Good angle.
Bryson Goodwin.
And Westwood being back on the field has helped England in the physical presence. There is danger. Good run.
Isaac Luke, he saw that Westwood wasn't square at marker, so he knew there was one short. He had a go. Here comes the 6th tackle. Johnson puts it high. Tompkins has a look. Widham's there to help him out. Tompkins goes up, collects very well. Oh, and what's he done?
I think that's Widham, was it?
Holding.
I'm not sure if there was holding here. It was definite block, maybe.
Gareth Widham's altered his line here. I think Nick knocks him off the ball.
Let's have a look. Just keep an eye. He'd come across.
Well, there's Widham coming out. He's allowed to go for the ball. But it's an obstruction for me.
Yes.
You don't think so, Jim?
Nothing in it really, isn't there? But hey, there's only one man whose decision counts.
Have they made a decision here? Yes, they have, because the touches are behind the post here.
I go for goal, yeah.
They've already decided to go for goal.
Yeah, God, they didn't go for goal on the previous steal on Sonny Bill, and now they've changed their mind. And that's a compliment to the English defence. They're 50-50 them, aren't they? Sometimes you're given, sometimes you're not given. Just watch it.
What he's saying is impeded the kicker from challenging for the ball at least.
I understand, you know, the decision. Sometimes they're given, sometimes they're not.
It's worth mentioning, by the way, that if he kicks this, the gap is 6 points, and still an awful long way to go, but the likelihood of a draw, if England score a try, kick a goal, etc., becomes a little more likely. Golden point extra time, if required today. Johnson is successful. 3 out of 4, 8 for England, 14 for New Zealand. Just a little bit more daylight between the team in black and the team in white. From an England point of view. They need to get out of this lull, which they've been in since half-time, really. Here comes Sinfield with a kick. Hargreaves.
Even this early in the second half, I think the next goal is important. You don't want a team of this calibre going 2 scores. I think England just need to get a little bit of possession now. They've been starved of possession and field, and I think it's come down to a couple of penalties near the halfway line, Dave. You know, they've just conceded penalties and then they've conceded possession and territory.
4 tackles gone. This is how it looks. The possession and territory. We'll have a look at that in just a moment. Sonny Bill Williams.
Nearly
second half. 83%. Yeah. 17 for England. Up goes the kick. Tompkins underneath it too. Outrider chasers, but Tompkins has got up superbly well to claim that as his own. And England needed that. Didn't want any mistakes there, did they? Widdop. Hall. Burgess, Sam Burgess.
I do like the way Sam Burgess just changes the pace when he takes the ball in. Oh,
Graham, crunching contact again.
Isaac Luke changed the pace of James Graham there.
Yeah.
Westwood. They've got some big players on them. Westwood's still out there, Hill's still out there, Graham's still out there. Sam Burgess is still out there, and Lachlan, of course, is part of that pack. So it's a big pack they've got on the field at the moment.
A bit too far, that kick.
Well gathered by Tuivasa Sheck. Good chase by Widdop.
Just some news from the touchline. Frank Nuisala, the New Zealand prop, the latest victim of what is an increasingly bruising game. He's been treated his calf or his knee. I'm not sure exactly. The doctor working intensively on him. His afternoon may be over.
I don't think a decision has gone England's way in this second half, has it?
I'd be interested to see this one, because you just can't do this against this quality team. This is going to take its toll on England if they keep giving the free field position, and it's adjudicated that Loughlin's played at the ball there on Goodwin, and it's hard to argue with those type of camera shots.
Yeah. 3 penalties crucial.
There he is, not happy at the moment.
Last thing he wanted, like ice, freezing you.
Cranky, one of the crankies was going off again there, Dave.
Here's Ray Hargreaves.
Big tackle. Have a bit of that.
Re-establishing authority in the front row. Up front. Been off the field for a while, James Graham says.
Guess
now
what
I'm
that is.
back. Now I'm back.
He was holding him. You could see that clearly, couldn't you?
Manuel crossed in.
There we are. 2 passes.
England have it back. Tompkins now just skips away from the first tackle of Alex Glenn. Finds him in a room in the middle. He can destroy with those fancy feet.
That should have been a penalty.
He wanted it. That was a 0 tackle, by the way. That's the first tackle.
Well played,
That's
James
not
Robert.
even a tackle yet. So on comes Sinfield. Sinfield now. England line not just ready.
Needed a runner.
Good decision not to pass.
First tackle. What's he going to do?
Oh no!
Penalty England this
that's
time.
it. Yeah, I thought he'd given a penalty for a knock on, but it was a late hit. Cassiano came in. I think he had a call from the touch judge.
It's good to hear a Welshman getting so passionately behind England, by the way.
Well, Wales are not in the competition, so you know you've got to support England.
So 6 tackles.
Support, you know, he goes for England against New Zealand and Australia.
6 tackles for England to ask a few questions of this New Zealand defence at the start of the second half. Westwood puts it back to Tompkins.
Great run there, Tompkins.
Knew he was going to get clattered, and he did, but he caught it. Westwood down the blind side. Watkins comes back down the middle. Tompkins has it. Now it's Sinfield. Sinfield to Hill. Hill straightening up a bit. Hill. Well, he's still going here, Chris Hill. Good, strong effort. Now Roby. Graham to his left. This is Sinfield. Out to Widdop. Widdop across to Tompkins, who slips over on the Wembley turf. Disappointing end to that particular tackle, but it's Widdop. Widdop now puts the foot down.
Well, they need a repeat set now. Repeat set they want.
Roby looks to his left, 3 there, goes to his right, puts the kick in. It's play on, it's still the 6. Tompkins has to be on. Oh, it is another 6, yes, it is another 6. Play that. I thought he said play on. So another set, they do get the repeat set.
Yep.
Here comes Roby. Listen to the crowd now, roaring this England side on. Graham, back to Sinfield. Sinfield to Watkins. Callum Watkins. England try.
Great ball.
Back in the game.
Great ball, Kevin Sinfield. And what an angle from this young kid, Callum Watkins.
And the noise at Wembley has just reached roof-lifting proportions. 14-12 with a Kevin Sinfield kick to tie us up again.
Put another feather in Kevin Sinfield's cap. This is a great ball. This is a half-back's ball per se. James Graham out the back. Kevin Sinfield has to find the runner. But it's a great line from Callum Watkins. Otherwise, that doesn't happen. Well played, England. Great ball.
Bryson Goodwin. His eyes are on Ben Westwood. Great run. Watch Ben Westwood. There he'll come in the shot. He's there, he's held up the centre. And what the ball, what an angle. Great try, England. This kid reminds me of a young Ellery Hanley. I don't know, it's just...
Whoa.
I'm telling you,
There's a compliment.
he could be, this kid could be the next superstar in rugby league.
He's had a lot of injuries over the years, hasn't he, which has really hampered his career.
He has got it all, I'm telling you.
But he's still a star performer. We've not seen a lot of him in this World Cup so far. Sinfield to make it all square. Oh, he's just pulled it wide. Just pulled it wide. But it's game on. 12 for England, 14 New Zealand. Callum Watkins try.
Just watch again.
Unbelievable ball from Kevin Simpson. Westwood does attract his defender, but he's on the fly there. Callum. It would have been hard to stop anyway.
But he doesn't do anything, you know. He doesn't actually do anything, Westwood. But because he's there, right, he holds up, you know, the New Zealand centre.
So Isaac Luke with a restart. If New Zealand thought that that early pair of second-half scores was going to put them in the driving seat, think again. Sam Burgess is just... he's an absolute machine today. He really is. He's an absolute machine week in, week out. And now it's England. Now it's England getting the decisions. Steve McNamara, Paul Deacon looking on.
You want to get between those two, would you? No. Dogzilla and Burgess.
I thought you meant Steve McNamara and Paul Deacon. Damien Johnson is with a special guest on the touchline. Damien.
Tom Briscoe is with me. Tom, what have England got to do in this finely balanced game to get over the finishing line?
I think that's it really. It's a finely balanced game, like you say, and I think we've just got to stick with that, keep knocking the sets out. I'm sure New Zealand will be doing the same, but I think coming out in this second half we conceded a try, but the boys got back to the game plan and scored a good try there. We've just got to stick with that, complete our sets and get to the kicks.
Thanks, Tom.
Cheers.
Left to play, 20 minutes, just under 20 minutes left to play. Roby out from dummy half, Sinfield across to Westwood. Westwood to Watkins, who threatened. They just about held on in that New Zealand line. Sinfield now, this is Widdop, stepping away, maybe creating a bit of space on his left-hand side, but the defence is good.
I think
he's holding on, he's holding on, he's holding on, he's holding on. How long does he get to hold on?
A half-back combination. Good balance. Sinfield really, really playing well.
Sinfield again. This is Tompkins. Tompkins! Trying the sachet of the hips, but New Zealand are not buying it. Here comes the last. So Sinfield's kick's important. Right across the face of field. Hall goes up and catches it. Wants to offload it. Oh, he's giving it away to Sonny Bill Williams. And Sonny Bill tried to offload. Oh, Tuivasa-Sheck, what he's doing. He's giving it away. England have it back again. New Zealand a rattle. New Zealand a rattle. Come on, England, shout the crowd. Chris Hill drives it in. Roby spins it across. O'Loughlin knocked it on.
Chance.
Those are the moments. Those are the moments, gents.
That was an opportunity. He takes it, he's in. Doesn't knock on. There's numbers on the right-hand side.
What about this?
don't know
That's
what.
a great catch from Hall. He flicks it in. Sonny Bill cleans it up. Thinks, no, I'll give him a running opportunity. No, I won't. Tuivasa-Sheck clearly hasn't got it. And I think he was juggling it and he was trying to get it to another player. I didn't think he could go.
Look where they are. That's the one thing about New Zealand. They'll want to play, won't they? And they'll try the offloads all the time. Now, they can implode sometimes.
All Sonny Bill had to do was keep hold of it, wasn't it?
You tell him.
Tell him after.
Jamie Peacock, second half, just as impressive as the first from your point of view?
Yes, definitely. I think England's resilience has been outstanding, but I think what we're going to see in this second half is how vital discipline is. We've seen New Zealand score a try of 3 or 4 penalties, and we saw England receive a penalty and manage to score off the back of it. So come on, England, let's ride this momentum.
New Zealand 14, England 12, 17.5 minutes left to play. Here comes Nightingale. Carried well enough. Isaac Luke. The big fellas have a go here.
The big fellas. How good has James Graham and James Robbie been when they've been on the field?
John, made that comment in studio later on. These boys coming on.
Sonny Bill meets his match in Benny Westwood.
He plays in the NRL, doesn't he, Graham? He knows how important the quick play the ball is.
Isaac Luke gets it on again, and they're trundling here.
And late on in the game.
Offload, here comes Isaac Luke. Making a bit of space for himself here. This is terrific from Luke, but Tompkins doing just enough. The offload tried. Where's it going? Everywhere. Picked up by Kieran Ford, and knock-on is the first one. I think it's England's head and feet here. Yes, it is. England's head and feet.
Questioning a steal there.
They're going to need oxygen tents after this game. Well, there's just been
them or us?
Stop, hasn't it?
Them or us?
Well, both. We'll borrow some. They can get the first goal. I think they've earned it.
They can have a go in the ice bath while we have the oxygen tent.
Such a quick game,
Keep that tunnel clear.
64 minutes gone in this game. The second half has flown.
Charlie coming in off the wing, helping out his forwards with an early surge. Let them get some oxygen back in their lungs here. And it's another of the outside backs, Leroy Cudjoe, taking on that heavy workload duty. Well, the bigger fellas have a breather. O'Loughlin now will bang it forward again. Gee, how good's that man? Plays, Roby, Graham. They don't know what he's going to do they? That's the thing. He might be surging at them. He might pass at the line. Put on some footwork. O'Loughlin back to Widdop.
Oh!
Quick hands here.
For the intercept. Does that play on?
Play on. Here comes
Get in the corner, Ryan Hall.
Ryan Hall for the corner. He slipped over. Normally he makes that left wing his own personal ticker tape parade. Not this time. Not this time. Tompkins. Maybe it's the right wing. Maybe it's the right wing with Charlie.
Good defence.
What a tackle.
Put down within sight. Watkins. Tompkins. How many tackles left?
Any tackles left?
Loads. All the time in the world, as somebody once sang. Oh, he's not been allowed to play that. He never played that, but the referee says play on. Graham, Sinfield, Widdop. Now it goes. Burgess.
Good hit again.
Sam.
Sonny Bill on him again. That's a great contest. Burgess, Sonny Bill.
Inside for Widdop. Puts the kick in.
No.
And they're going to make the tackle.
Oh, he dropped it. He dropped
the tackle. Little kick into the goal. That's a very clever kick, that actually, isn't it? Because another set of 6. Real good control under pressure and at pace.
I'm not sure if he dropped it. I'm not sure if he dropped it. He's checking. Just watch. A great kick.
Why did he dive for the line?
Again, no, I don't know why he kicked so early in the tackle count.
Well,
6 more players.
I tell you what,
it comes off. It comes off. He kicks early.
Yeah.
Because it's a great skill and it comes off.
The bloke next to me that's complaining, not me. I think he's a great player.
One of those 6 tackles now. John Wilkin on the sideline. John.
I think we're fantastically lucky here, Dave, to be looking at what I think is the best forward pack in this competition. The England pack is just outstanding. What they can do with the ball and defensively against this New Zealand team today has been nothing short of sensational. With George Burgess on the field now, just to add to that impact.
Just underline John Wilkins' point there, George.
I think also complemented by a fantastic half-back partnership today. I think they've been solid and the game management's been brilliant.
Sinfield puts it out to Sam Burgess.
Just go.
Burgess runs over Locke. Runs over Kevin Locke. It's Slamin Sam! England have a try! England have the lead! A World Cup final is just moving inches closer to their grasp. What a try!
How good is this kid? How good is Sam Burgess? I'm telling you. But again, I think it's Kevin Sinfield that creates the opening for him.
Here he goes.
Just watch.
James Roby, Kevin Sinfield takes the line on, attracts SBW and gives it to SB. SB slamming Slam to slam the ball down over the line. Get that into you. Boom.
What a finish. In or out, he was not going to be stopped. I tell you, you looked at him 15 yards out from the try line, and as if he'd scored already. The confidence in this kid is unbelievable.
What's going through the mind of Kevin Locke seeing that monster running down at you?
Balance, poise, pace, power. He plays from prop to loose forward.
Wembley's a third, an absolute third.
It's just a privilege to be here.
Oh.
First and foremost, it's a great game.
Sinfield's kick is a good one. 3 out of 4. 18 points England, 14 points New Zealand.
Here we see James Roby, James Graham attracting defenders. Kevin Sinfield's pass selection there was great because the temptation was to go early on Sam. Sam pushes through. They both go through the hole and he offloads.
67 minutes when England took the lead again.
Now then, let's just see how much character this Kiwi side has got.
You could write an opera about this game and be accused of melodrama. There's the kick-off.
What a mistake!
It's gone straight out of play.
What a mistake!
And a penalty for England on the halfway line. Maybe this wall of white is moving inexorably.
Can Kevin
where they want to be.
Can Kevin Sinfield reach from there? I don't think he can he?
Does he want to reach from there?
Well,
or does he kick the touch?
6 points with, just over 10 to go.
I think he'll kick the ball out. I don't think he'll go for
the ball. No. Somewhere near the 20-metre.
He's made absolutely sure of finding touch. It's a good kick. England score again. My word. If. There's George. Here's Roby. Oh, the pass. Not on Sonny Bill! Sonny Bill steps up to the plate.
No,
but he's knocked on. England's head and feet at the scrum.
I don't think. Was it a knock on? It's a big call, this is. Big call. No.
Well, that one's not a knock on.
Well, we didn't see this. I think it's the previous play. It was the tackle he made on it. Just watch. That's not a knock on, I tell you what. That's a big... He went looking for that Sonny Bill Williams. He needed a big play and he pulled it off. The officials got it wrong.
Here comes Westwood to barge it forward.
You've got to capitalise on it now.
Roby at dummy half, 20 metres out. Then it's Graham now, who takes it in on the second drive. These are the characters you want hanging around at moments like this. Sinfield to George Burgess. Another mighty drive by him. 3 tackles gone. 3 to go. Roby. Wood up with a step. New Zealand's defence recovers well. This is Roby. Sinfield, Westwood pushing him off! Westwood! Oh, he's lost the ball on the line!
Watch out.
Nightingale brings it back.
Did he lose the ball?
No advantage, I think, for New Zealand, so they'll get the head and scrum.
How close was
that?
that?
On the 10-metre line.
I thought it was over. He thought it was over. Put the ball down, Ben. Put the ball down, Ben. Put the ball down.
Oh, so close. Oh.
Benny Westwood had a stitch in his face. He's got a swollen cheekbone. Doesn't care. Enjoying the moment. 9 minutes to play. Stays like this, the World Cup holders are out, and England are in the World Cup final. But it's a huge, mighty big if at this stage. New Zealand will come back. They will have a chance. That's Mannery, their skipper. England's defence having to stand firm. Isaac look at dummy half. This now is Jesse Bromwich. They are making the meters. Not doing too much damage, but making the meters up towards the halfway line. So when the kick comes, they'll be in a decent position. Driven in by Matalino. So next, you would imagine, would be the kick. Unless they're going to try something really fancy. It's Johnson with a little click over the top. Widdups, read that. So to a Sinfield. Sinfield takes it. And England back in possession again. So, Robbie Hunter-Paul, from a New Zealand perspective, how's this playing out right now?
Well, it's been better if you looked at it before. England had taken the lead from New Zealand's perspective, but the chip kick exemplifies what New Zealand's going to do from now on. With 8 minutes to play in this game, they're going to have to throw caution to the wind. England's defence need to expect absolutely anything.
8 minutes to go. Here comes Graham again now, driving it forward, and George Burgess spinning around. Handful. 5, out it goes to Sinfield. Sinfield across to Tompkins. They're on the 6th tackle here. So Tompkins with a kick to the in-goal area. He wants to bounce. He wants the backspin. It doesn't come. Ooh, bit of a slip by Jason Nightingale. His metal studs on the concrete surface. Tap back on the 20. 7.5 minutes to go. Captivating. Utterly captivating. England's performance today is just terrific. But New Zealand have added to it as well. And they might still have a final word. Nightingale tackle. Look at dummy half. Kieran Foran across the line. This is Johnson now. Sonny Bill Williams on the rampage with the offload. Johnson throws it back in. Here comes the man to Iwisaszek, who's tackled. 25 out. Still tackles in the bag. England's defence. That wall of white buckles together again.
It's not one Burgess, it's the other one, it's in Sonny.
Here comes another one, Matalino.
You have to say that we've seen some world, the best players on the planet are out there.
6th tackle, Johnson, quick hands. Good job. Oh, Ryan Hall! Ryan Hall knows. Had he caught that 80 yards down the field, he'd have been almost certainly celebrating an England victory. He did well to get there, to be fair. He did well to get there.
It was a game breaker one way or the other, wasn't it?
The reaction says it all. Reaction says it all.
Head and feed New Zealand. Head and feed New Zealand. And 6 tackles to ask the question of this England defence again. Have you got the character to keep this Kiwi threat out?
This is a big set of 6.
Crowd are finding their voice. The mythical 14th man. Here come New Zealand. Foran. Locke. Oh, they've blown it! They've blown it on the very first play! England get the ball back!
Dreadful play. That's dreadful play by New Zealand. Kevin Locke just overthrew that.
Shocking pass, wasn't it?
I don't know why they went so wide early, you know. It wasn't on. There are 2 defenders there. You know, England had snuffed it out, that attack. They got the defence right.
Well, Wembley hasn't resonated to the chants of England quite like this in quite a while.
It's been a fantastic game. Fantastic game.
Here comes Burgess. Slamming Sam, who, by the way, is the man of the match today, Sam Burgess.
Hey, but there were a few contenders for that. Sinfield was one as well.
Well, he's the official man of the match, Sam Burgess. But you have to say, hats off to Kevin Sinfield. He's had his detractors leading up to this tournament and leading up to this game, but boy, has he delivered. today, Kevin Sinfield, the England skipper. Tompkins trying to get out from dummy half, maybe suspecting that Cassiano was not square. 6 tackle, Willett puts it high. Not a lot of depth on it, but it is high. It's allowed to bounce by Goodwin. And England's defence is up there, but Locke just able to get away, not for long. Here's Goodwin. 4.5 minutes to play. How are the nerves? How are the nerves? Whether you're watching at home or whether you're in the thick of it right down there.
They'll keep their discipline now, not give field position away.
Look, ran at Burgess. I suspect Burgess thought he wasn't square. Why he put him over. Pushed him rather than tackled him. This is Johnson. Here comes Fade. Fade with the ball back inside to Varsashek, and marshalled well by that England defence.
He's injured.
That'll be tackle 5 when he gets up and plays it. But he does slowly. England won't mind this. They've slowed everything right down here, the Kiwis. So there's going to be a bit more pressure maybe on the kicker than they might have had, but he still gets that kick away. Tompkins, Charlie, who's after this? Goodwin got up there and got the hand to it. He's given a drop out underneath the sticks. New Zealand hand went backwards.
Wow. Well, Varsashek's linked him about now.
Goodwin did well in amongst that cluster of England defenders. So, another set of 6 here for England to defend with 3.5 minutes to go. We're loving every second of this, but sometimes you just want the hooter to sound because you can't stand the nerves much more than this.
Can I have my oxygen now?
They are being stretched to the limit. Kevin Sinfield as cool as ice with a drop kick from underneath the sticks that takes the ball into the hands, ultimately, of Ben Matalina, who drives it back. England know they need to put in 6 big tackles here. This is it, fellas. This is where the game is won or lost in these final few moments. Isaac Luke, England defending, New Zealand rolling on. Sonny Bill Williams wants a piece of the action. But he gets a piece of England's defensive might. Back to the middle, Bromwich. He's put down. 4 tackles gone, wants the penalty. Referee says, get up. Johnson swings it wide. Foran, out it goes. This now is Goodwin. Goodwin cuts back in.
Good defence.
That's 5. Here's the last. Kieran Foran kicks it high towards Ryan Hall. Oh, it's England's ball. It's England's ball. It's a knock on New Zealand. It's head and feet England with 2.5 minutes to go. The handover. The handover.
Play near the sideline and roll it out and over the scrum.
I'll tell you what.
2.5 minutes to play.
And New Zealand will get one more goal with the ball here if things pan out the way they should.
Oh, here we go. It's a smash-a-thon now.
This is it now. They're trying to dislodge the ball.
Up go the legs, but just about stayed beneath the perpendicular, otherwise it would have been a penalty. New Zealand rushing out here.
World Cup holders on the verge.
Graham.
Giving their title up.
World Cup hosts on the verge of making a final. Sam Burgess carries it. That's tackle 5. Sinfield's kicking back down the middle. Never mind the touchline. He's going to make New Zealand bring it out straight away here. England's defence is ready. This is the set.
This is it.
This is the set. England make 5 more tackles. They're there. And New Zealand know that. That's tackle 2. 4 more to go. Here comes Goodwin. That's the 3rd. Isaac Luke at dummy half. It's slow. Taken in by Cassiano. Here comes Foran. Good tackle by Hall on Fade. That's tackle 4. 2 more tackles to come. Sonny Bill down the middle.
Oh, no!
Was high! Was high! Penalty New Zealand. So they will get another set here.
We've got 1 minute.
Quickly taken. Isaac Luke. 46 seconds to go. Driven in by Nuisala. They'll throw everything in England now.
This is it. This is it.
4 tackles to go. Isaac looked from dummy half. England respond.
30 seconds.
It's a moment for heroes. Big throw out. Johnson. Johnson with a goal.
What a try.
With a try.
What a try.
Sean Johnson with the try that makes it all level. With literally seconds to play. And now he's got a kick to win the game.
They shot out to the line. They opened up. You cannot come out at a player of this quality. He steps 1, steps 2. What a brilliant finish. England just lost their shape in defence and opened it up. This is the penalty first of all. Didn't need to do it. And then they rushed out and just opened the gate for this player. There he is. Sinfield goes early. Bang! Off the left. What a try.
Well, it ain't over yet. He has to kick the goal. And it's that fella who has the task of kicking this goal. And Wembley is almost silenced. Sean Johnson of the New Zealand Warriors, the man they called the new Benji Marshall, is the man who might just win it for New Zealand. Everybody is focused on one man. 70,000 pairs of eyes stare at this fella.
This is not a difficult kick, okay? But in circumstances like this, it's a little bit tougher.
It's out of their hands now. Nothing they can do but stand and watch. Sean Johnson takes 3 steps back. A couple of careful steps to his left. Looks at the ball. Looks at the sticks. Tries to clear his mind of the cacophony of sound that swirls around Wembley. To take his side into a World Cup final. He's nailed it! He has nailed it! It is New Zealand in the World Cup final. They get to go again to defend their crown. And England simply can't believe the fate that has just befallen them. What a performance! What an outstanding performance by England today! But in the end, it was seconds away from being enough.
Yeah, look, I'm lost for words. It's just so close. And I just said, it's just the discipline, you know, the penalty, and then you shoot up to the line against the calibre of players like, you know, Kevin Locke and Sheck and Ware. Sean Johnson just steps out of the first tackle, second tackle. You have to say that is a brilliant match-saving try, you know, and then steps up to top the goal. But what an amazing game of rugby league. Absolutely fantastic. And you see, you know...
Well, is there a sicker feeling in the world of rugby league?
You can't, you know... So close. So close.
Absolutely heartbreaking. It really is absolutely heartbreaking. And every England rugby league fan, every England sports fan around the country will know that this 17 players today have given their all, have come within a whisker of dethroning the world champions and possibly deserve to dethrone the world champions. But in the end, not quite enough.
Well, that was the difference between these two sides, wasn't it? You know, it was just the last play of the match. Last play of the match.
So New Zealand are through to the final. Whether they play against Australia or Fiji, we'll know in a couple of hours' time. But in the meantime, let's hear from Sam Burgess with Damien Johnson.
Sam, many commiserations. You're the man of the match. It was a marvellous performance from England, but I guess that's very little consolation at this moment. What are your first thoughts?
you know, very disappointed for the team. I thought our effort was there today. I thought we fought through some tough patches as a team. We showed a lot of strength. You know, thanks for the man of the match, but I think I'd rather have the win than this medal.
Will you reflect perhaps on some half chances that, say, Ryan Hall and O'Loughlin had?
I mean, you can't look at that. Throughout a game, there's 50 other chances where we could have taken, and the same with the other side, but in the last 20 seconds we got pipped, and you know, the guys are very disappointed. We've put a lot of hard work into this tournament, and we feel we've probably not got what we deserve.
It's a bruising and physical encounter. Everyone expected that. What was it like to be out there?
Mate, it's a fantastic game of rugby league to play in. Great atmosphere. I must thank the fans for turning out. It was great to play on this stadium and with my English friends. You know, and the Kiwis are very big and physical, so thanks to them as well. But it's going to take a while to get over this one. There's a lot of work gone into this preparation, so thoroughly disappointed at the moment.
Thanks very much, Sam. Appreciate it.
Thanks very much.
As you can see on the pictures, the England players are still on their knees on the Wembley turf. Jamie Peacock, that felt like the fastest 80 minutes of my life, followed really well. Fastest 78 minutes of my life, and then the slowest 2 minutes of my life.
Yeah, the last, for an England fan and as an ex-England captain, that last minute and a half was horrific viewing, to be honest. I felt like we deserved and did enough to get into the final. But, yeah.
Well, right, let's go back down pitch side.
Stephen Kearney's with me. Stephen, congratulations. The news of the final again. That was an incredible game of rugby league, wasn't it?
Yeah, it certainly was. You know, it was a real test match. You know, I thought England, you know, had a great game today, but, you know, to our lads, we just, you know, kept fighting, kept hanging in there, and we, you know, come up with an opportunity with, you know, a couple of minutes to go there, and we were good enough to take it. So, but, you know, I thought England had a great game today.
With the clock ticking, even you must have thought that was it, the crown was going to go somewhere else.
Yeah, well, you know, again, we always back ourselves if, you know, if there's enough time on the clock and we had the footy, or, you know, I was always confident that we'd give ourselves an opportunity, and, you know, with 2 minutes to go, we did. So, you know, we're fortunate today, but I thought the fight from the lads, you know, they hung in there and gave themselves that chance, and I'm very happy.
Thanks very much. Congratulations, Steve.
Cheers, thank you.
The New Zealand players in their huddle, they have one more game to look forward to, and that's the final at Old Trafford next week. And George Burgess, Robbie, will be thinking about that high tackle, won't he?
He will be, and for a young player, that's a tough thing to have to deal with. You know, you think to yourself, you know, am I to blame? I'm sure his professionalism and his brothers will get around him. You know, lift your head up, son. You know, no worries. We move forward. There are other elements in the game where, you know, where they could have stretched out the lead. I personally, and I'm a Kiwi, I feel a little bit sick for the England players. I thought collectively over the 80 minutes as a team, they were probably the stronger. But as Steve Kearney just said there, you know, the individual brilliance sticking in the game, and that individual brilliance come out right at the death there. And I think that's something that New Zealand has in their arsenal to call upon.
They don't want to leave the pitch at the moment, don't the England players? James Graham, bloodied and bruised. Here's the thought of the England coach.
Steve, many commiserations. I mean, what is the feeling after that? It's a heartbreaking way to go out of the World Cup.
Oh yeah, definitely. It's a tough way to go, but you know, high-level sport can be cruel at times, and you know, really a World Cup semi-final, that's how it should be. Two teams hammer and tongs, not much in it. You know, we're bitterly disappointed, as you can tell.
Did you feel with the clock ticking, 30-odd seconds to go, that you had it in the bag?
I don't think you get in these sorts of games when the score's so close, you can never think that, but we were getting close and doing a lot of things right in this game. I thought we played tremendously well in the game, and very cruel, yeah, way to finish.
Very little consolation, but it was an incredible game to watch.
Well, it was, and I think, you know, for our sport, rugby league, you know, it's put us on the map. I think it showed everybody out there what a great sport it is. Tough to talk right now, obviously, as you can imagine, but yeah, I think the World Cup's been great for our sport, rugby league, and hopefully a lot more people will now become involved in it.
It's been a difficult campaign. Where now for England? Where now for you?
It's not been difficult at all. It's been a great campaign. We've done things the right way. Our group has been very strong. I think, as you can tell by what's gone out there today, and we'll see.
Appreciate you talking to us, Steve. Thanks.
Cheers, thank you.
Let's take a look at the winning try, shall we, Jamie?
Yeah, I mean, that's just a bit of a tired tackle, really. I think when you're a big man and you're tired, you tend to go high, and they just run out of gas here. I think Kev's damned if he does and damned if he doesn't there. I think if he holds back, they're short of numbers. He has to go out and press, and unfortunately, he gets on the inside of him. But I just think, I'm the eternal optimist, okay? And I just want to look at the effort England have put in. The best two performances have been against the best two nations, Australia and New Zealand, and they probably deserve to come out with something a little bit more than today. An exceptional kick at the end, an exceptional try to New Zealand. Credit to New Zealand for what they did to hold in there, show guile and grit to hang in there, and then but England played well. Probably deserved a little bit more out of it, but I'm a little bit biased.
Yeah, well, you and me are biased, and we're gutted, but you know, credit to New Zealand as well, Rob.
Yeah, they. I mean, I'm sure that New Zealand will come away with this with a lot to learn. There were for massive portions of that game, England were completely dominant and effectively controlling the game. And I think there was a real showcase to them that if you want to compete in the final, we're going to need to get a better control of what we're doing, show better discipline and deliver on those.
Tell you what, the Wembley crowd are showing their appreciation to the England players as they go on their lap of honour at the moment. And that was their best performance of the tournament.
Yeah, without doubt. We've questioned their intensity. We've questioned how can they do it for 80 minutes. They did it for 80 minutes today. They came up with the try right at the end. But I can tell you one thing as a player, this hurt never goes away. Losing a game, a big game, right at the death that you thought you'd won will stay with you for the rest of your life.
And quickly they will think, won't they? They'll think about the Ryan Hall interception. They'll think about the Sean O'Loughlin drop. They'll think about the Westwood just dropping it as he was putting his hand on the line.
That's the thing. They had so many chances just to put that game to bed. If we could have taken one of them, we'd be sat in the final now. One more positive for me was the performance of Sam Burgess. I think that's the greatest individual performance I've seen in the England shirt for the last 20 years.
It's a big call. He was immense. The final is next week. New Zealand will take on the winners of the second semi-final between Australia and Fiji. So that's 1:45 on BBC One next Saturday afternoon. Thank you to Robbie and to Jamie. We will be there for the final. Gut-wrenchingly, agonisingly, England won't. Good afternoon.
More sport next on BBC One with live Formula One qualifying for the Brazilian Grand